I thought this would happen when I found out that Freaky Empire has decided to release their sex tape of Montana prior to Vivid's doing so. It seems to me like Freaky Empire is trying to ride on Vivid's marketing efforts and dollars. Not cool. Anyway, it says, he paid $25,000 for the Montana Fishburne tape, and I'm just going to interject something right now. $25,000 for a sex tape of a celebrity, in my opinion at least, is very low. Apparently, it's low in Michael Federosi's eyes as well, if you read a couple Twitters between him and adult industry gossip columnist and blogger Derek Ford, because Kendra Wilkinson received over $600,000 for her sex tape. Meanwhile, Montana Fishburne only got $25,000. Black rate? Perhaps. Anyways, he paid $25,000 for the Montana Fishburne tape and intended to pitch it as the usual celebrity sex tape. When news of it leaked out here on MikeSouth.com, the entertainment media had a bit of a feeding frenzy, and Hearst changed his tactics. This time there wouldn't be any lawsuits in the whole leaked tape angle, which is what Montana had signed up for. This time he decided to put a spin on it that was like, this time he decided to spin it that it was like the Kim Kardashian tape, and Montana thought it would make her famous in the same way that Kim's tape made her famous. Hirsch's reasoning on this is that it might attract more celebrities to his company. Little did Hirsch know that Montana had been a stripper who went by the name Chippy D, and that she had already shot a scene with her boyfriend Brian Pumper that was going to be released under that name 2 weeks before Vivid releases theirs. A few questions come to mind here. First, $25,000 isn't very much considering Daddy, meaning Laurence Fishburne, could have paid 10 times that amount and never missed it to squelch the thing. So I bet there's some rebellion going on here. I agree, Mike South. Another is, does Hirsch really think that Kardashian ploy would work on anyone? Kim had her mainstream stuff in play before her tape was released. All her tape might have done was give that little extra bump. Now, I'm not saying that the move isn't savvy, because it is. It's free advertising and will also give him another few sales of Kardashian's abysmal excuse for her sex tape. I haven't seen it, so that's not me saying that. That's Mike South. If he really wanted another life, if he really wanted another life for that tape, he should release the golden shower footage that is said to be in it. I didn't know about that. But the real fuck you Hirsch here is that he was scammed, even if the amount was paltry. You'd think she would be worth more than that Octomom creature. Again, this is Mike South saying this. And he offered her 10 times as much more. Well, Vivid, all that comes to mind is you reap what you sow. Now, the most recent post on MikeSouth.com says the following, titled, Montana Fishburne Porn Vivid Moves Release Date. So, you know, I guess many of you out there thought you were going to have to wait a week, at least a week, to see Montana in action. Apparently not, because since Vivid has found out about what happened with Brian Pumper's company, Freaky Empire, they've moved the release date up to when? Tomorrow. Tomorrow, which will be April 3rd, 2010. This story is dated August 2nd, 2010 on MikeSouth.com. Vivid has decided to release her movie tomorrow on info that another company has a video of her that would beat Vivid's release date. What a clusterfuck this has turned into for Vivid. But they have gotten a fair amount of ink from it. News has been slow, so this took off. But the fat lady hasn't sung yet for Vivid. Wait till you hear what's next. I don't know what's next. I guess everyone's going to have to go to MikeSouth.com, I guess tomorrow, to find out what's next. Because this is quite a touchy situation. Quite a touchy situation. I mean, first off, I really can't possibly fathom that Laurence Fishburne in any way knew about any of this going on. And I don't think that he's going to be very happy about it whatsoever. Neither will anyone attached to Laurence Fishburne's camp. I really am very disappointed in Brian Pumper. I don't know him personally. I have no desire to ever come across him personally. But he shouldn't have done what he did. You know, I was twittering about this last night with some people. But I just can't understand why, when someone discovered that Chippy D is Montana Fishburne, why didn't somebody at least contact Laurence Fishburne's agent and say, hey, you might want to let Laurence Fishburne know that his daughter is getting into the adult entertainment world, and maybe you should talk to her. If it's something that she really wants to do, maybe he, you know, someone from Laurence Fishburne's family could have, or camp could have put her in contact with some people who could at least properly educate her about the adult entertainment world. Because, I mean, I don't know if, I mean, in a lot of these postings it's stating that she needed money. I don't know if she was disowned from her family, maybe she's on the outs with her father. Things happen in families, trust me, I can relate. But I would think that somebody who's connected to Laurence in some way, if not Laurence himself, would have tossed her a few dollars. And if she really wanted to work in the world of adult entertainment, she could have come in as a director rather than a talent. She could have maybe started her own studio, or maybe she could have just bypassed adult altogether and gotten, you know, a bit part or maybe a co-starring role on one of the multitudes of series that are out there that showcase people in her age range. There's so, I mean, there's so many reality shows that she could have probably gone on. There's so many dramatic series that she would have been perfect for. I don't quite understand this, but maybe it's not for me or for any of us to understand. I don't know, but I am quite upset about it. So I guess that's the update on the Montana Fishburne sex tape fiasco as of current. I will keep you guys updated on Wednesday, the next broadcast of Monica at Home. But I just wanted to add one more thing. According to Michael Federosi, aka Porn Law, I did see on his Twitter that he stated that Pumper has, and I think I already said this, maybe I'm reiterating myself, that Pumper did not bring Montana to Vivid. I still feel like he was instrumental in essentially pimping her out, and I don't think that was right, because he just had no right to mess with a girl of such a young age, and you know, in the social circles that I'm sure that she runs in. But Federosi says that somehow he was absolutely not involved, but we'll find out. We'll find out. So anyway, let's go on to some other adult entertainment news, because that's what this show is about. This show is all about adult entertainment industry news, gossip, happenings, events, my opinions on it, and I also do like to talk about dating and relationships, but not just romantic relationships, but relationships of all types, friendships, family relationships, all that kind of stuff. And of course, I like to give advice about entering the adult entertainment industry or making your exit, because I'm in the process of making my exit. But I do have a website called gettingintoporn.com, and I'll go ahead and put the URL in the chat room. Gettingintoporn.com. And if you're interested in finding out the mechanics of the adult entertainment industry, my site does kind of introduce you to what it is and how it works. It's always a site that's in constant evolution.